From the All Indiana Podcast Network, this is the News 8 Daily 8.
Now, the latest news.
Kylie Conway has the latest news. The top headlines. News you can use.
Please stand by.
Sponsored by LCS Heating and Cooling. Now, here's Wish TV's Kylie Conway.
Hi, this is Kylie Conway, and this is the News 8 Daily 8 for Tuesday, July 6th. Basically a rinse and repeat of yesterday's forecast for today. Spotty showers and storms can't be ruled out for south of I-70 this afternoon. And it's going to be hot and humid again with highs in the low 90s. And the outer bands of Tropical Storm Elsa are reaching the Florida Keys. People on the state's west coast are preparing for the storm's arrival. There are long lines at stores, and there's a rush to fill sandbags to protect homes from flooding. The National Hurricane Center tweeted overnight that conditions are worsening all across the Keys.
As far as the impact goes, I don't think we're going to have a major weather event here tomorrow. I don't want to predict that it will be nothing. But generally speaking, when it looks like this, it's not all that much to worry about.
The National Weather Service in Tampa Bay says the biggest threats are flooding, storm surge, and tornadoes. There was pretty heavy damage in Cuba after the storm ripped through there, made landfall yesterday afternoon. There have been 3 deaths linked to the storm. 2 people died in the Dominican Republic. It's according to the country's Emergency Operations Center. The other person died on the island of St. Lucia in the Caribbean. Several major airlines are waiving change fees for Florida cities that may be impacted by the storm. Delta is waiving certain change fees for Fort Myers, Key West, Sarasota, and Tampa. Delta says it will waive fees if the travel date is on or before July 10th. As far as American Airlines, it's offering a similar policy, but kind of different. You do have to rebook by July 7th. Indiana Task Force 1 is dealing with those conditions at the search site of the collapsed condo tower in South Florida. So the group's there. They've been very active on social media, sharing pictures, and they also say that this will no doubt be one of the most labor-intensive deployments the team has ever worked. Search crews are now able to look through all sections of the condo site after there was a demolition of the rest of the tower on Sunday night, the remainder of the building. 28 people are now confirmed dead. 117 are still unaccounted for. Daryl Forges takes us to the search for survivors and the investigation into the collapse.
The search for the Champlain Tower's south rubble is widening.
The search and rescue team has been able to search all sections of the grid on the collapse following the building demolition.
The controlled demolition, a necessary step, given the dual threats of a wobbling building and Tropical Storm Elsa.
The lightning storms is a concern for us where we stop, and definitely the wind gusts.
Fire, smoke, and now wind and torrential rain. They are continuing the mission.
Crews have removed nearly 5 million pounds of concrete, but as the search continues, so do the questions.
Every piece of information that comes out, I have more questions.
New internal documents obtained by CNN shed light on the urgent need for $15 million worth of repairs that were delayed for years. One of the slides in a series of presentations from the fall and winter of 2020 was titled, "Why We Have to Do All This Now." Another explained, there is no waterproofing layer over the garage in the driveway or any area except the pool deck and planters. This has exposed the garage to water intrusion for 40 years. Where there is waterproofing, it has failed. Water has gotten underneath and caused additional damage to the concrete.
How was this missed for so long that it reached this?
In Surfside, Florida, I'm Daryl Forges.
In Russia, a plane with 28 people on board is missing. Local emergency officials say it disappeared in the Far East region. They say the plane missed scheduled communication and couldn't be seen on radar. The director of the plane company says the aircraft was technically sound. Officials started a search mission and investigation. Back here at home, a man is in critical condition after a shooting on the east side of Indianapolis. IMPD says it happened on Red Mill Drive near 38th and Franklin Road just after 1 this morning. According to police, they found the victim in the parking lot of an apartment complex. Officers who were there at the scene overnight, they told us that the man was trying to find help before they got there.
I actually ran to one of the residents here, knocked on the door, said, "Hey, would you call for an ambulance? I've been shot."
Right now, police aren't sure where exactly the shooting happened. This morning, there's no word on what led up to the gunfire. And that's just the latest shooting in what was a deadly holiday weekend in central Indiana. At least 5 people were killed in Indianapolis since Friday. 2 others were killed in 2 separate shootings in Lawrence. News 8's Demi Johnson talked to the Fraternal Order of Police about all the violence.
Gun violence in nearly every corner of Marion County over the holiday weekend.
We're averaging over just the weekend, a person shot or stabbed in our city every 3.6 hours, and a person losing their life in Indianapolis every 18 hours. And that doesn't include the violence in Lawrence, Indiana.
In Lawrence, police say a person is dead after a vehicle was hit by gunfire Monday. It's the second deadly shooting there in just 2 days. The violence started Friday in Indianapolis when 2 people were killed. Then 2 more on Saturday and another person Sunday. FOP President Rick Snyder says he's disappointed by the city's response.
Where are the press conferences? Where are the interviews? Go and find me one politician speaking to this public safety crisis anywhere during these last 4 days. Just one. I'm going to give you a hint. You're not going to find any.
At the shooting scene Monday in Lawrence, Brittany Day shared her fears.
You're not safe in church, schools, work, driving down the street, going to get some bread. You're not safe nowhere.
We're seeing 75 to 80% of the victims of homicide in the city of Indianapolis are our fellow Black neighbors. Communities of color are being disproportionately impacted. Why? And what can be done to interrupt that? And those are the tough, difficult discussions that, for whatever reason, our elected leaders don't want to have.
Day says the solution to problems has to be more than just picking up a gun.
We can't ask nobody and demand respect and to come together if we don't do it first. We have to do it. Our community has to be important to us.
I'm Demi Johnson for Wish TV, wishtv.com, and follow us on Facebook.
A spokesperson for Mayor Joe Hogsett's office told Demi they're waiting for the city's $3 million public safety plan to be voted on by the council next month. A difficult date allows for new recognition of an officer killed in the line of duty. IMPD officers gather to remember Officer Perry Wren 7 years from his death. The North District held a graveside roll call to honor the 21-year IMPD veteran. Wren responded to an anonymous phone call of shots fired on the east side on July 5th, 2014. A man fired shots at Wren and another officer as they approached a group of people near 34th Street and Forest Manor Avenue.
Officer Perry Wren knew the importance of the word community. He knew the importance of investing time and places, investing in the moments that matter, and investing in people. He chose to be a beat cop for 22 years, working the toughest neighborhoods. He knew the need was great. He knew the risk was great. But he also knew the impact would be immeasurable.
Major Davis is serving a life sentence for shooting and killing Wren. And a man faces criminal charges this morning for what Lebanon police are calling a case of road rage on the interstate. It happened yesterday afternoon on I-65 near Lebanon. Police say they responded to a report of shots being fired at another vehicle. The driver of that vehicle wasn't hurt, but officers did take Craig Jones III into custody for shooting at the vehicle. He faces several charges, including criminal recklessness. COVID-19 case numbers are rising again in many states, and the numbers are tied closely to vaccination rates. Research from Johns Hopkins University shows states with below average vaccination rates have nearly triple the rate of new cases that states with above average vaccination rates are seeing. The data shows states with lower rates are reporting an average of 6 new cases per 100,000 people each day. States with higher vaccination rates are reporting 2.2 new cases per 100,000 people. And this morning, the state reports more than 2.8 million people are fully vaccinated in Indiana. That's about 42% of the state's population. A new report out of Israel shows a slip in protection from one vaccine version. According to Reuters, Israeli health leaders say the Pfizer vaccine dropped to 64% effectiveness, largely on the rise of the Delta variant and the end of social distancing rules. Officials still say the vaccine is extremely effective at warding off the most severe cases. About 60% of Israel's population has gotten at least one shot of Pfizer's vaccine. The company hasn't commented on this data. The United Kingdom will press forward with easing pandemic restrictions. The British government announced plans to end mask mandates and rules requiring social distancing later this month. Even with the Delta variant causing more infections, Prime Minister Boris Johnson is defending the nation's new COVID-19 strategy.
And we must be honest with ourselves that if we can't reopen our society in the next few weeks, when we will be helped by the arrival of summer and by the school holidays, then we must ask ourselves, when will we be able to return to normal?
British public health officials say the high vaccination rate has significantly helped cut down on COVID-19 deaths. So far, 86% of adults in the UK have at least one vaccine dose. And making their voices heard, multiple election-focused groups are hosting a rally to support the For the People Act. Organizers say starting at noon, supporters will gather in front of Senator Todd Young's office on Illinois Street and march to Senator Mike Braun's office on Pennsylvania Street. The For the People Act aims to expand voter registration and voting access, including limiting the removal of voters from voter rolls. This morning, the bill is in the Senate and passed to the House in March. Indiana's representatives voted along party lines. A manhunt to find the person who killed a Purdue grad working as a pro at a golf course in Georgia is underway. Police say they found Gene Siller and two others dead on the grounds of the country club. Siller graduated from Purdue in 1996 and received a degree in mechanical engineering. He was one of three men found fatally shot at a Georgia country club over the weekend. Siller was 41 years old. Police say this happened around 2:20 p.m. Saturday. They found Siller near the green of the 10th hole of the Pine Tree Country Club in Kennesaw, Georgia, where he worked as the golf pro. Police say Siller was found unresponsive and had been shot in the head. He was pronounced dead right there at the golf course. Then officers found two other men who had been shot and killed in a white Ram 3500 pickup truck. They're still searching for the shooter.
He built community, didn't have one enemy. Clearly, it's an act of evil. It's an act of selfishness. We need to come together and have a sense of selflessness where we don't show up and allow anger and sadness to inform our decisions.
Professional Golf Association of America President Jim Richardson issued a statement writing in part, "We are truly heartbroken to hear about the senseless murder that took place yesterday at Pine Tree Country Club in Georgia that took the life of PGA member Gene Siller. PGA of America sends our thoughts, prayers, and deepest sympathy to his family, club, and the Georgia PGA community." Friends say Siller treated everyone with respect. He leaves behind a wife and two children, 6 and 7 years old. That's according to the Georgia Country Club. And the shocking death of an NHL player is drawing words of mourning from around sports world. Authorities confirm Columbus Blue Jackets goalie Mtis Kivlenieks was killed by a fireworks shell that hit him in the chest. It happened during a party in a suburb of Detroit, Michigan, late on July 4th. The coroner ruled it an accidental death. The league honored Kivlenieks with a moment of silence before last night's Game 4 of the Stanley Cup Finals. And League Commissioner Gary Bettman wrote in a statement, "His love for life and passion for the game will be deeply missed by all those who have been fortunate to have him as a teammate and a friend." Another drowning on Lake Michigan is prompting officials to warn people about swimming safely in the Great Lakes. Indiana DNR says a man from Illinois was struggling in the water at a Gary Beach Sunday evening. He didn't resurface. Emergency responders recovered his body hours later. This recent drowning adds to the total drownings in Lake Michigan this year. As of July 2nd, the Great Lakes Surf Rescue Project says there have been 15 reported drownings on the lake this year. For the Great Lakes as a whole, there have been 32 drownings this year. Downtown Indy Inc. is asking for input on the future of public spaces in the city. The organization is running a campaign called Monumental Voices. It's asking people to submit their opinions on how 4 public areas should be used. Those are Monument Circle, the Canal, Luger Plaza, and Georgia Street. According to Downtown Indy Inc., those opinions will be considered by the city's Equitable Public Space Planning Project and Department of Metropolitan Development. Submissions can be made online. They can come in the form of selfies, comments, and videos, which may also be used as part of an art installation. And the pandemic is causing a surge in demand for backyard pools. Now the wait to get one is around 2 years. Pool companies say it's a perfect storm of high demand, a shortage of supplies, and a shortage of employees, meaning if you want a pool now, you're likely going to have to wait until 2023. Hannah Mordeau reports.
I think there'd be a pool sitting there.
Dan Matney is putting the finishing touches on his new Greenwood house.
Instead, we have a fire pit.
But says the pandemic has rained on his pool day plans. Gosh, everybody wants a pool now?
Yes, everybody wants to stay home.
The wait to build a pool is 2 years.
Everybody's out at 2023.
How many places did you call?
I think we're about 3 or 4 right now.
Angie's Pool and Spa in Greenwood says their phone has been ringing off the hook.
Hey, I want a pool. What's the timeline for that? We are looking at 2023.
Kind of shocked whenever they find out that we're booked out till 2023.
They say since the pandemic started, staycations have taken over.
Want pools because they want to be at home.
I've never seen this before.
But along with high demand, supply and staffing is an issue in Indiana and across the country.
So right now we are running into raw material shortages and employee shortages, and it's nationwide.
A perfect storm.
Absolutely.
Plus, your dream of owning your own pool might be floating away, not just because of the wait, but the price to just get on the list.
We used to ask for a small deposit. Now we have to ask for a larger deposit just because we're trying to cover those materials up front so we can get them in quicker.
In total, pools start at around $45,000. They should take 3 to 4 weeks to build, but materials are so delayed, pool companies now have to buy all of it up front, far before construction even starts.
All manufacturing across the pool industry, everybody, had their shutdowns and stuff, so it's all finally starting to stack up.
Meaning everyone has to.
Be patient.
Disappointing news for pool-wanting people like Dan.
What are you going to do now?
Wait. I don't think I have a choice other than waiting.
Now, these companies tell Hannah this high demand trend isn't just for pools. There are delays when it comes to hot tubs and other outdoor space construction in general right now. People along the parade route for Carmel Fest got to witness a sweet surprise. The Carmel Fire Department put together a whole video for a firefighter, Garrett Locke, who proposed to his girlfriend. He walked the route with the department until he saw her. He stopped the parade near Range Line in Maine to bring her out onto the street. He got down on one knee and asked her a very important question.
She said yes.
She did indeed say yes. Congrats to the happy couple. To business headlines now, one top real estate agent in Florida told Fox Business clients are expressing their fears to her over living in older condominiums since the collapse of the condo in Surfside, Florida. Owner-occupant buyers are shying away from high-rise condos that were built prior to modern stringent building standards and leaning towards single-family homes. After Apple tightens tracking rules, advertisers shift spending toward Android devices. As part of Apple's latest iPhone update, it required users to opt into tracking. Only 33% did. Digital advertisers say they've lost much of the granular data that made mobile ads on iOS devices effective and justified their prices. China would be barred from buying more U.S. farmland, and the land already in its possession would become ineligible for farm subsidies under language approved by the House Appropriations Committee. Washington Representative Dan Newhouse said ownership of nearly 192,000 acres of farmland by Chinese investors was a national security issue. There are 897 million acres of farmland in the United States. That's according to USDA data. Pavement Technology, Inc. created a spray-on treatment for pavement, which it says can lower its temperature. Developed in collaboration with Louisiana State University researchers, the spray's exact makeup is a trade secret. The Ohio-based firm says the substance can also revitalize aging asphalt by making it stronger, a property that could come in pretty handy. This week, roads across the West have been cracking and buckling in the extreme heat. The spray is also meant to dissolve car exhaust pollution. Wendy's, Subway, and Chipotle are among the fast food chains hit by supply chain issues. Reuters reported that all three chains ran out of key ingredients at some locations. A Chipotle ran out of barbacoa and carnitas, while a Subway ran out of roast beef, according to that report. Today, a celebrity golf match featuring megastars from two sports. Buccaneers quarterback Tom Brady and his partner will square off against the Packers' Aaron Rodgers and his teammate. The partners are the pros, Phil Mickelson and Bryson DeChambeau. The four have sparred through trash talk since the date was set, including the latest round shared this week.
Tommy's already got built-in excuses with his knee. And
certainly wish them the best of luck. They just happen to be in our way.
That event will take place at the Reserve at Moonlight Basin in Montana. Also tonight, the NBA Finals tip-off. The Phoenix Suns and Milwaukee Bucks will each look to end their long title droughts. The Suns have never won an NBA championship in 53 seasons as a franchise. The Bucks last won a title 50 years ago in 1971. This finals matchup does not feature a team with league stars LeBron James or Steph Curry for the first time in a decade. Game 1 starts tonight at 9 o'clock. This has been your News 8 Daily. For Wish TV, I'm Kylie Conway. Online at wishtv.com and follow us on Facebook when you search Wish TV.
The News 8 Daily 8 is sponsored by LCS Heating and Cooling.
Be sure to like and subscribe to this podcast.
The News 8 Daily 8 with Kylie Conway. And be sure to discover even more great podcasts now at allindianapodcastnetwork.com.